Hi students, good evening and wish all you are keeping a good health and also are concentrating on your studies. Especially in the vacations, I will suggest that go on with the studies also. Go through the chapters, in the new chapters in your new class. Especially I'm talking about class 9 ICSE board, and in this video I'm going to discuss flowers, pollination and fertilization. First of all, flowers, the basic knowledge of the flower. So flowers are the reproductive organs of the plant, and they are containing the male part and also the female part. The male part, reproductive part, is called the androecium collectively, and individually stamens, as you all know, and stamens are consisting consisting of anthers and filaments, and the female part, that is the gynoecium collectively, and individually it is known as pistil or carpel. They consist of the stigma, style and ovary. Ovary is having ovules, but embryo is there, and then after fertilization it develops into a seed, and then the ovary develops into a fruit. That we all know. Now when you think of a flower, you have to visualize physically what is a flower like. For example, the most common bisexual flower is rose. Here is a rose flower. As you see, rose, how it is looking like. It is looking like a beautiful colored flower. And the parts which are there, actually you have to, these are the green leaves that we are seeing here. Those are the calyx, and individually they are called sepals, green leaves, which is at the base of the flower, the tip of the stalk. And above that, the colored petals are there. These colored leaves are called petals, and collectively they are called corolla. So these petals are colored. There are different colors in rose flower. Maybe this red and white, or red or yellowish, isn't it? So these colors are because of the pigment anthocyanin, but they may have other pigments also, like for red orange it is carotene, for yellow it is xanthophyll. So anthocyanin is the main pigment for these colors. So these are the petals that you are seeing, all these colored leaves of the flower, rose flower. And why they are colored? Because of the pigments, as I just now said. Now, these are the non-essential part of the flower. The calyx, that is the sepals, and the corolla, that is the petals. Now, the essential parts of the flower are the reproductive parts. In the center, you see a bunch of small structures are seen. Those are the female part, that is the pistils, head of the pistils, the upper side of the pistils, and at the side there are stamens also. At the center only, both the parts, male and female, are there. In the center there is a bunch, you will see, if you see it very closely. This bunch is the female part, that is the pistils, the upper part of the pistils, and at their side only the stamens are there. That is the male part, in the center only. In the center only you can see. You can see in the center there is a bunch of small, very minute structures. Those are the in the center there is the pistils, upper part of the pistils, and at their side only stamens are there. So they are closely placed. So these are bisexual flowers, and bisexual flowers, self-pollination is very easily self-pollination can take place, or cross-pollination can also take place if some insects come for nectar or for fragrance, being attracted by the colored leaves. So these the pollen grains from the stamen will stick to the body of the insect, and when the insect goes to other rose flower of this same species, then what will happen? The pollen grains will be transferred to that flower. So that is the pollination, that is cross pollination. But since it is a bisexual flower, self pollination is also possible. And after pollination, you have there are different reasons why, even if it is bisexual flower, sometimes self pollination is not possible. Maybe the maturity is not same, the time of maturity is not same of both the male and female parts. Maybe the height is not matching, so self pollination is not taking place. Maybe there is a covering of some substance which is covering the stigma. So pollination is not happening because pollen grains are not able to fall on the stigma because of the outer covering, which is called hercogamy. So these are the different reasons why, even if it is bisexual flower, self-pollination is not possible sometimes. But in a bisexual flower, generally the pollination method is that of self-pollination. But if it is a unisexual flower, cross-pollination has to be there, and cross-pollination will happen if it is an individual flower. If the flower is containing only one reproductive part, but the flowers have to be of the same species. So if cross-pollination has to happen, there has to be pollinating agents. There has to be agents like insects, wind, water, etc., which will carry the pollen grains to the other flower, a different flower of the same species. So there are some advantages and disadvantages of self-pollination as well as cross-pollination that you all have studied. So after pollination, what happens? Fertilization takes place. The pollen, which has pollen on the stigma, one of them will mature and will develop into a pollen tube because of some chemical reactions at the stigma. And then this pollen tube will grow downwards and it will enter the ovule through the micropyle. This pollen grain is having the male gamete, which divides into two before entering into the ovule, and when it enters, so it is having two male gamete nucleus. One will fuse with the egg cell at the base of the ovule and will form the zygote after entering through the synergids. Then the other male gamete nucleus will fuse with the two pollen nuclei in the center of the ovule. So what is happening? Fusion is happening 3 times. First at the base, then 2 times at the center. So there are 3 fusions, and the outcome is a triploid cell. So that forms the endosperm, and at the base, the first male gamete nucleus has fused with the egg cell, so it has formed a zygote. So if you see, then fertilization has taken place once at the base and once at the center. Maybe the fusion is for 3 times, but the fertilization has taken place twice. So it is a double fertilization. So it's always said double fertilization, okay, in plants. So I end my topic here today in this video. Again, I will come with some other important topics. Thank you very much. God bless you all.